guys know for over 50 years, Kicker has offered some of the best sounding, best engineered, best performing, and absolutely the best selling audio equipment on the planet, especially when it comes to bass reproduction. We've got so many innovations, I can't even begin to list them all. But one of the cool things we did years ago is we came out with this little 8-inch powered subwoofer that fits under the seat called the HS8. This set the industry on its ear. The sales of this thing were absolutely through the roof. In fact, you guys liked it so well you asked for more. So we gave you the HS10. Between these two units, we sell over 60 of these units on average every day of the year. Sales have been through the roof, they sound great, and they absolutely perform. But once again, you guys said, hey, it's not enough. We want more. So what do we got for you? Yes, the HS12. This is not a joke. This is the under-seat 12-inch powered enclosure with 230 watts of power, variable low-pass crossover, fixed subsonic filter. This thing is absolutely astounding as far as bass response. Has the same cast aluminum closure. It shares the same family of traits as the HS8 and the HS10, right down to it uses the exact same hardware. Same power wire, same connector, same bass control. So if you've got an HS8 or an HS10 and you want to step up to the HS12, it's simple plug and play. You can't ask for a simpler upgrade. But if this still isn't enough, or these guys aren't enough for you, you can still run two of these off the bass control. We got this universal bass level control that allow you to connect two of these subwoofers, any of our powered subwoofers, with one volume control. So if you really want that extra kick, we have got you covered. And if you're one of those guys that likes badges, the Hideaway comes with these two great badges. So let's make sure we get them right side up. So you've got the Hideaway badge and you've got the Kicker badge. These are cast aluminum polished. They're gonna look great. They can go one on either side or put them wherever you want. I think I'm gonna put mine on the fender. That's where I like to see them. Anyway, that's the exciting news about the new HS family of woofers. Without any further ado, let's let Jacob take it away for some more cool stuff.
Here we've got some more of stuff that you guys are already familiar with and that you know and love, but it's still new. The first thing I want to talk about are going to be these KS 2 3/4 inch speakers. They're the same drivers that we already sell, but now they're available in a single speaker, and they're basically for center dash channels. So if you guys have a premium audio system in a vehicle, or even an older vehicle with bass audio that has a center dash, like 2006 Chrysler 300, then you can install these. They still come with all of the mounting adapters and brackets included in the packaging to make it fit. We're also adding a couple of new RCAs to the line, and these are going to be shorty RCAs. They're available in 0.3 meter and 0.5 meter lengths. So if you guys have an application where you only need like this much RCA, maybe you're daisy chaining amplifiers together and you don't want to have to hide a bunch of extra wire, or you just have to go from the back of the radio to your universal remote level control. These RCAs are perfect for that application. They're going to be available in both the Q series and the K series RCAs. Now, I know you guys are looking at this enclosure that's right in front of me, and this is going to be in addition to our powered subwoofer lineup. So you guys sell a lot of the Comp RT, the PTRTP loaded enclosures. This is a powered L7T down-firing enclosure. It's available in a 10-inch and a 12-inch size, and they both do have that amplifier built in to the side of it. Just like the PTRTP, these accept up to 40 volts on the high-level input, and they do come with the bass knob in the package. 500 watts RMS power handling on the 10 and 600 watts RMS power handling on the 12. And if you have a customer that really likes how one sounds, maybe they want to add another one to the vehicle, then you can use that DBRC dual bass knob with these just like you can with the Hideaways. So John's got some other cool stuff that he wants to talk about in the marine section, and I'll let John take that away.
All right, guys, when it comes to marine, we love our marine, we love our power sports. We love to accessorize our boats and our side-by-sides. How do we do it? Obviously with speakers. We've got this wonderful premium series of marine we introduced last year, but we're not here to talk so much about that, more about lighting. We love to put lights on things. The problem is we're putting more and more lights on these vehicles and having some issues with noise, so we've been asked to address that, and we've done exactly that. We've got our new marine LED controller in the premium series. This thing, this is the black box that you hide. Why does it not look like your conventional marine controller? Because this has 300 watts of output power to drive LEDs. I said 300 watts of power. It's like a small amplifier. In fact, if you look at the wire harness, it uses 10 gauge power wire and has this great waterproof connector that locks into the brain box. The other cool thing about that brain box, it's got a microphone with adjustable sensitivity, so if you want to have your lights activated by sound, you can do that. In fact, the little remote is so cool. This mounts with a 1-inch diameter hole, and it's also got this great under dash bracket. But what does it do for you? How does it work? Well, this is the control right here. As you can see, the LEDs match the color of the speakers. As I turn the dial, I can dial in exactly what color I want. And now we go into the multi-function use of this display. So if we pick a universal color, like a nice purple color, that looks pretty good. If I push this button one time, it's going to flash twice red to tell me that I'm in the intensity mode. So we can vary the intensity mode from very soft, keep going up, to almost blinding light. That's the intensity mode. I push it again, the lights are going to flash 5 times to let you know you're out of that mode. If I push this button and hold it, it takes me into the mode, and you're going to see the green lights flash twice. Now I can adjust the mode. So you've got a flashing mode, which is more of a strobe. We've got a pulse mode, which is a gradual. We also have the sound activated mode. So if you really want to have a party on the boat or you're side by side, you can do that. So if I go back to one of the other functions, let's go back to our flashing mode. We've got a speed adjustment. So if I push this and hold it, you're going to see those LEDs flash 5 times green, let me know I'm out of the mode selector. So if I push the button twice, you're going to see them flash twice blue. Now you have your speed adjustment. I keep forgetting to count my push buttons, so if you guys are ready for a seizure, we can do that too. So you can vary the speed of any of the modes. Push it twice again, you're going to see those blue LEDs flash 5 times to let you know you're out of that mode. This is going to be really cool. And we talked about the noise issues. Conventional LED controllers operate of a principle called PWM, pulse width modulation. Unfortunately, almost all those LED controllers are switching in the audio band. That's why we get noise with the LEDs, especially with the color changing and the bright and the dimming of the LEDs. This is going to switch the LEDs ultrasonically. So it's switching them at such a high frequency, we can't even hear it. Your dogs on the beach will probably hear it, but you guys won't. So no worries anymore about having noise from LED lighting. We have taken care of that, and we've given you the controller that's going to allow you to run up to 300 watts of LEDs from a single controller and have this great little mount up front so you can control it. I think you guys are going to like it. So something else that's kind of cool, you guys have asked for it. We do listen. You guys have been saying, hey, we absolutely love these new premium series marine subwoofers in this enclosure, but it's 4 ohms. Well, we've taken care of that as well. We're going to now offer the premium series marine 10 and 12 inch and the enclosure. They're now going to be offered in a 2 ohm version so you can get the maximum output from your amplifiers. So if you really want to drive these woofers to their 450 or 500 watt potential, now you've got the capability to do it with 2 ohm versions.
So you guys have had a lot of success with our factory fit subwoofer enclosures for trucks. So previously we've offered them for Ford vehicles for GM and Ram pickup trucks. We're adding a little bit more to that factory fit lineup. So we have a product reviewer that comes to our booth all the time at Knowledge Fest, and he was asking if he could get the Ford enclosure to fit in his Toyota Tacoma. And unfortunately, the answer is no. We know that Tacomas are one of the more popular trucks on the road, so we developed a factory fit style enclosure for the Tacomas. This will fit the years from 2005 up through 2023. It's this one right here in the back, and that is going to fit behind the back seat of those Toyota Tacomas. On some year models, you may have to remove a trim panel to get it to fit, but otherwise the fit and finish is seamless. The next one that I want to talk about is this one right here in the center. This is a really nice roto-molded enclosure that's designed for all Jeep JKs and JLs. To clarify, that's all the years from 2007 to 18 for JKs, and JLs are the current model of Jeep. So as you guys can see, it looks very nice. We actually matched this to the interior trim of Jeeps. So we took a sample of the interior and sent that off to our factory, and ask them to match it as close as possible. So you guys might be wondering about the install. How does this mount? It comes with a full-size template in the box. Ernie, can you pull that picture up? So this is what you'll see. You'll tape it to the tailgate, aligning it using 4 existing holes on the tailgate. And this will tell you exactly where you need to drill holes in your tailgate to mount the brackets. Of course, it does come with all the brackets in the packaging that you'll need. You don't have to drill any holes in the JL tailgates, just the JK tailgates. Now I want to show you guys what this thing looks like mounted. Ernie, if you can pull that picture up, it looks really nice. It almost matches the interior of those Jeeps perfectly because we asked our factory to do that, and our engineers did a really nice job of making it look like it belongs in the Jeep from the factory. It utilizes a single 12-inch L7T driver, so this enclosure can handle 600 watts RMS of power, and it's going to sound awesome. The next enclosure that I've got for you guys is one for the 5th gen Rams. So we've had the enclosures that fit from 2002 up through 2019 Rams, but if you're like my dad and you have a newer year model and you want, he's got a 22 and he wanted an enclosure, we didn't have one to offer him until now. This will fit all the way up through current models of Rams. So it also utilizes 2 10-inch L7Ts, just like the Tacoma box. So these are going to handle 1,000 watts RMS of power. If you guys are curious about amplifier recommendations, I would suggest either the CXA 1200.1 or the LX 1250.1 for both of these factory fit enclosures. It's going to give you plenty of power and it's going to sound great. For the Jeep enclosure, I recommend either the CXA 800.1 or the LX 850.1, and both of those are going to be a perfect match. Now, since we're putting these in vehicles where you likely have a factory audio system and you're adding a subwoofer, one thing I'd like to suggest is utilizing a key LOC with that audio system so that you can take care of any kind of factory processing that's present in that vehicle, restore any missing bass, and really get the most out of your subwoofer enclosures. So John has some stuff that I think is probably the most exciting thing that we're talking about. I'm going to let him take it from here.
Hey everybody, I'm back, and I get one of the most exciting portions of this little presentation ever. You guys have known that Kicker has been one of the innovators for subwoofer technology, since 1986, when we were the first ones to offer separate components for the vehicles. In 1999, we came out with the L7, the first square practical subwoofer. 2002, we came out with the Solo X woofer. This woofer had a replaceable cone and voice coil assembly that could be done without glue in the field. It was absolutely revolutionary and really told the car audio community exactly what we're made of and how serious we are about woofers. So we took a little break, let the engineers recover for a while to get some new technology behind their belt and to come up with something really new and cool, and you guys have done wonderful with the Solo X woofer. This woofer basically takes everything we learned from this woofer and makes it bigger and better. That's the current Solo X. Once again, these things are available from 8, 10, 12, 15, and 18-inch. They have been absolutely incredible. They do everything we told you they would do in the field. But you know what? Wasn't enough. You guys asked for more, and we said, all right, we're going to go back to the drawing board. We're going to do something really cool. It's my pleasure and honor to introduce to you the new Solo XS line of woofers. The S for Supreme or Superior. This woofer literally takes everything we knew about the X and takes it to the next level. Everything about this speaker for the most part has gotten bigger. Bigger surround. The NBR surround is our own proprietary blend of natural butyl rubber. Carbon fiber dust cap, non-pressed pulp cone. If you look at the voice coil, is about 50% longer. The pole piece is longer. This bad boy's got more than 4 inches of cone travel, and that's just crazy. But we still have the same technology where you can replace the spare assembly. Look at the length of that voice coil. So this can be replaced in the field without any glues or any special tools other than an Allen wrench. It's going to take you just a little bit longer because this speaker, the Solo X, had 8 screws on the top, 8 on the bottom. The new XS has 16 on the top and 12 on the bottom to make sure this cone assembly is going to stay put when you mount it. We've got a really beefed up Cone X Spider, which has got superior heat resistance, thicker tinsel leads, and of course that bigger voice coil. And this driver is really unique in the fact that no matter what impedance of subtle XS woofer you buy, the spare assembly will fit. So if you want to change the dual 1 to a dual 2, you have the ability to do that in the field. So this is fantastic. And you talk about terminals. This has got 8-gauge push button square terminals, 4-gauge, yes, that's not a typo, that's not a misprint, 4-gauge terminal blocks to run speaker wire to these woofers. So this 12-inch literally makes the Solo X 12-inch look like a regular woofer, and we didn't think that was possible. Just look at the surround on that thing. I'm not going to pick this woofer up because it is in excess of 90 pounds. So 12-inch, that's going to be enough for you, right? Well, we didn't think so, so we decided to go one step farther. We're going to step that up to a 15-inch version. These speakers are rated to handle 3,000 watts of power continuously. That's 3,000 watts RMS. I'm not going to tell you what this 15-inch weighs because it's, like I say, these are really, really stout woofers, and you're going to need some help loading them in the enclosures. In fact, OSHA told me I couldn't pick these up and show them to you due to safety restrictions. But, yep, we didn't stop there. Now for the biggest, the baddest boy on the planet, the all-new, completely unique Solo XS18. This is 130 plus pounds of absolute SPL smashing bass. This shares none of the motor structure with the 12 and the 15. It's completely unique. It even features a 4-inch diameter voice coil and 4,000 watts power handling RMS. That's a continuous 4,000 watts. These things are crazy loud, and our engineers have really outdone themselves. I'm really curious to see what they're going to do next year or in the future because, you know, I think we've taken woofer technologies about as far as it can go. So you guys are going to have a lot of fun with these woofers. They'll be available really soon, and here again, they have so much output, you're going to be absolutely astonished. But we start talking about what put them in. One of the biggest problems we had with the Solo X woofer initially was people didn't make good enough enclosures for them. They weren't strong enough, they weren't the right size and volume. So we decided to make unloaded enclosures for the 12 and the dual 12-inch enclosure. Well, fear not, if you want to upgrade, the XS woofers fit in the exact same enclosures, and they're a drop-in replacement for an X woofer in our pre-made unloaded enclosures. So guys, enjoy your bass. Thanks for being supporters of Kicker. Thanks for making us the company that we are, your #1 brand in car audio. And don't forget, if you want to power these, the LX3001 is a great amplifier, and also don't forget the Warhorse 3601. A 3601 on this woofer is going to be absolutely outstanding.